This is one of TGSPE's great poems. It's called Voice. It's actually a pivotal work of his from his early years. There was a time when he wasn't necessarily accepted as a poet before he really ascended into his place in the world. This is back before he grew to who he is, or was, sadly. Oh my God. Anyways,
Sorry, man.
Before he grew into TGSPE, there was a time when he was getting kicked out of slams. He was getting forced off the open mic because people weren't ready for him, and he wasn't ready for them. So, like the great saxophonist Charlie Parker, he spent some time away. He spent a couple years, people say, on his own. Nobody really knows what he did. And he honed his voice. He mastered his craft. And when he came back, it was one of those moments in literature, probably the greatest moment in literature, in which people all of a sudden realized that we were actually in the post-good era of poetry. And from then on, things started to change. This poem called Voice is about him finding his voice, and it's the poem that he came back with. It's the poem that dropped everyone's souls to the ground. Voice by TGSPE. Melancholy hyperbole. It drowns out my madness, makes my insides hurt. It takes hours, days, years, minutes, silence. Moments of reflection. Why do you think I haven't raised my voice until now? Motherfuckers. There's a heartbreak in this place, like a ghost clawing its way back to a body, bigger than the hands of a clock, the one I call God. G-O-D, like greatness over despair, an equation I measure myself against. It saves me from the crackheads, the thugs, the rapists. I want to cry for them, but my tears are my salvation. My tears are my salvation. My silence is my salvation. So how am I still breathing? There is a heartbreak in this place that makes my breath so heavy. I want to drown in your heathen arms, world. I'll stop shouting when you start listening. Then I'll be quiet, an echo of the desperation that you may one day love me. I saw you last night, world, dancing like nobody was watching. Shaking your hips like you weren't all tidal waves and regret, like you shouldn't fall in love, but you did. I've been licking my lips, wishing that your silence might spread to me. How do you carry that much broken love? How do you carry the wars, the tears of gold burned in gunpowder, our names inscribed on cardboard nightingales of loss, hatred, the oppression of hope, and the circumcised wishbone I call my body? You want to know how the devil got kicked out of heaven? He looked God in the face. I saw a picture last week of two skeletons found beneath the ashes of Pompeii, grasping each other until the end. I want to tremble like that, Lord. I want virtue burned back into my body. Melancholy hyperbole. It burns up my insides, makes my madness hurt. I spent hours, days, years, minutes, silence, moments of reflection. Motherfuckers, you better believe I found my voice.